But no, he persisted. Are you coming over? If not, I will probably trank out. Too stressed to sleep naturally. Again, no responses yet. So now you've gone from swing and a miss to kind of sad to desperate to weird. If you're still using Twitter like I am, you probably know the horrors and realities of what Twitter has become. A dark place, filled with Nazis, filled with racists, filled with a whole bunch of misogynists, all of them. All of the baddies have found a website now that they can conglomerate in and not have to worry. Used to be they would be in the corners of the 4chans and the r/polls kind of corners of the internet. Not anymore. You don't need that. Now there's a website, a mainstream, or at least used to be mainstream website, where you get access to all of the horrors. You will see Nazis with verified check marks. You will see Holocaust deniers replying to people being like the Holocaust was bad, and there's absolutely no accountability for any of them. He's done the whole thing where he's made those who are marginalized feel as if they are the ones marginalizing others. For example, cisgender is apparently a banned slur on the platform, as is the word cis, as is colonialization, you know, shit that, like, obviously epic for the lulz to, you know, the far right and the fash, who think it's fucking hilarious that this is happening. But the hypocrisy on display of every single person who said that they were all about free speech. They don't give two fucks about it. They love watching the left get censored. They love watching the liberals get fucking their accounts banned. That's clearly something that they've always enjoyed. This was more just about, they thought that the old Twitter, the old guard, was just decidedly against right-wingers, and it wasn't. It did not have a right-wing bias, sorry, a liberal bias. It did not intentionally target right-wingers. That was just all make-believe. They made it up. It's not real. It's totally fake. He's also just taken the likes away from public consumption. You can't see what people like, so all the perverts got a huge win. Anyone who just like accidentally likes a photo sometimes, you know, you can always look at the horny photos. You could look at all the ass you want and not hit like. You could just like look at it, enjoy yourself, and then move on, do something else about your day. But there's some people who have to take it that extra mile. There's some people who are just like, oh God, then my hand doth move without my control, and then they click on it, and then boom, they're like in some fine cake. Elon Musk had a sexual relationship with the former SpaceX intern, who he later hired onto his executive team, according to the Wall Street Journal. He also had a sexual relationship with a second employee, and a third woman alleged that Musk asked her several times to have his children. She refused. He then denied her a raise and complained about her performance. Won't let me impregnate you? Ha! Well, I don't think you're a good worker then. Yes, you are worker bees, and I am the queen, and I'm here to impregnate each and every one of you. One of the women who Musk had a sexual relationship also drew ire of the SpaceX president, Gwynne Shotwell, who accused her of having an affair with Shotwell's husband. When the woman reported this to HR told Shotwell. Shotwell told the HR department at SpaceX that she wanted the woman removed from the office of the chief executive, the Wall Street Journal wrote. The journal's article cites text messages, emails, and other documents. It is based on interviews with more than 48 people, including friends and family members of the women, as well as former employees. Musk didn't reply to the Wall Street Journal's request for comment. Shotwell said the Wall Street Journal's request for comment paints a completely misleading narrative of what working at SpaceX is like. It's not all that stuff, okay? Yes, occasionally, if you are within eyesight of Elon Musk and you happen to be an attractive woman, he most likely will walk up to you and try to impregnate you in one way or another. He may offer you a raise, he may offer you a senior position, he may just whip his dick out. We're not sure. It just plays itself out at each different, occasion. These, again, they're situational events, and they do occur, and he does want to impregnate every single woman that he sees. So that is just a part of the experience for sure. But we also build rockets. Yeah, the real ones, not like, it's not a euphemism. We build rockets, and so that's cool too. So there's more at SpaceX than just the impregnation fetish guy running around. In 2021, 5 former SpaceX employees said there was a culture of sexual harassment in the company. One of these women described multiple instances of being groped. A 2022 story reported that a flight attendant on Musk's private jet said he exposed himself and offered to buy her a horse in exchange for an erotic massage. This is him inventing economics. This is not perversion, okay? This is a genius. One of the smartest men on the planet has invented an entire new economic system that could save the United States. You hear the gold standard? What about the horse standard? He's trying to bring that to you, and I don't see why people are complaining about it. Earlier this year, a former SpaceX employee filed a lawsuit alleging sexual abuse and discrimination. SpaceX is also being investigated by California's Civil Rights Agency over allegations the company discriminates against women and retaliated against workers who raised concerns. Elon Musk's boundary-blurring relationship with women at SpaceX. The billionaire founder had sex with an employee and a former intern and asked a woman at his company to have his babies. You must have my babies, baby. She visited Musk at his home multiple times as she struggled at work to establish herself, according to people familiar with the matter and friends she had confided in. He would text her, like, a lot, said one of the friends. When she didn't respond to a nighttime invitation to come over to his house for impregnation, Musk texted her name repeatedly, the friend recalled. So here are the texts. About a half a year into her job, the woman received another invitation from Musk to come to his house, according to a text exchange reviewed by the Journal. Come by, he wrote. When she didn't respond, he peppered her with more text. Look, it's either me or 6 a.m. Exercise. Smiley face. No response. Just finished the Model 3 production call. It's def going to be hell for several more months. Honestly, my dudes, first off, if you're texting someone and you're not getting a response, could be at this moment in time because they're sleeping or they don't want your dick. If you've already sent a couple of messages and flirty messages too, it's either me or 6 a.m. exercise. That's pretty much the implication is quite clear. So you have made the offer and you are not getting a positive affirmation in return, which means most likely the offer has been rescinded or it's just not being accepted. And at that point, you can save your own personal dignity by not going further. But then trying to add to that, I'm just so important. Yeah, you know that Lex text I sent you about, like, you know, I could be your exercise, aka fucking, instead of having to wake up and go jogging. You could fuck my dick. I also work really hard, and I've got this big Model 3 coming out, and it's really tough for me. So could you also, you know, while we're here, maybe give me a little bit of free therapy on how hard everything's going? Just affirm, you know, just be like, damn, that's hard, baby. Or you know what, I'll even accept you responding with an emoji, even a thumbs up or something. But no, he persisted. Are you coming over? If not, I will probably trank out. Too stressed to sleep naturally. Again, no responses yet. So now you've gone from swing and a miss to kind of sad to desperate to weird. And now you're just like, look, if you don't accept my dick, I'm just going to trank out. You either accept my dick or I'm rolling on these benzos. That's all I'm saying, okay? I got a whole bunch of benzos lined up, gonna crush, gonna rail. It's up to you. You choose my dick or my benzos right now. So no response. When she still hadn't responded, he wrote, probably best if we don't see each other. That's, it's not a save. Yeah, not a save. Yeah. Now, it was this same day, I believe, that Elon Musk made a tweet about how it'd be so awesome to have a time machine, you know, kind of like, what's that, the dean in Community, were that this desk were a time desk, you know, just, yes, of course, because obviously when embarrassing articles come out that show how sad your text messages are, that's pretty wild. Again, richest person on the planet, incredibly powerful, and in a position of absolute and supreme power, CEO of the company, and one of the companies that is getting billions of dollars from the Obama administration's, you know, taxpayer coffers in order to get these exploding rockets to explode. You definitely, you have an advantage that I think not every man would. You know, certainly if I was to approach this woman, I would not be coming to the table with all of the power that Elon Musk does in this situation. But even then, just unbelievably, pathetically sad on every level. And then at the very end, I love just like the male insecurity, kind of like, well, fuck you then. Yeah. Probably best we don't see each other. We weren't seeing each other, though. I was not answering you because I didn't want your dick inside me, and I didn't want to have your babies because you want to impregnate me, so that's why I'm just not answering. Wouldn't want to do anything that could jeopardize my potential job right now, because, again, you could fire me if I don't respond with the right thing. So I'm just going to ignore and sit in fear as my boss is basically like, it's me or 6 a.m. exercise, baby. Yeah, you better answer me or I'm going to trank out. Well, hopefully that tranking out is going to happen soon. Someone who most likely would not be in the same position, would not be able to do the kind of things that Elon Musk gets to do, take billions of dollars of taxpayer funding, or go on private jets where he gets to then proposition his employees for sex in exchange for horses when they have literally nowhere else to go. He's doing the dentist thing from the dentist system, you know, because of the implication. But it sounds like you're going to put these women in danger. No, they're absolutely not in any danger whatsoever, but they're not going to say no because of the implication of danger. Yeah, where's she gonna go? She's on a plane, private jet. Where can she go? because of the implication, right? A lot of people have been wondering why Elon Musk has been so shitty. I found this old article that talks a little bit. Elon Musk went anti-woke after his daughter transitioned, biographer writes. Elon Musk is on a mission to defend the world from what he calls the, quote, woke mind virus, compelled, at least in part, according to a forthcoming biography, by his daughter's gender transition. Walter Isaacson, Musk's biographer, wrote in an excerpt published on Thursday in the Wall Street Journal that Musk's right-wing inclinations were partly triggered after Vivian Jenna Wilson, his then 16-year-old child, came out to her aunt. Hey, I'm trans, and my name is now Jenna, she reportedly texted the relative. Don't tell my dad. It was not clear from the excerpt when she sent the messages, but Wilson was granted a legal name and gender change last June. Musk complained that Isaacson and Wilson's transition was accompanied by a political shift that drove her away from him. She went beyond socialism to being a full communist and to thinking that anyone rich is evil. Isaacson wrote that Musk blamed Wilson's ideological shift partially on her school, which he saw as having been contaminated by the same lefty mindset that he had, in his view, polluted Twitter. And yeah, I don't know if this is the actual origin story, but it certainly does point towards some pretty big tells. By the way, the socialists, the communists, right? The communists are looking to evolve our society into a moneyless, classless society, one where there's not different classes, racial hierarchies, gendered hierarchies, sexual hierarchies, stuff like that, into a system in which, imagine it, Star Trek with me for a second. What if you were in a future society of humanity where we were all collectively working for the combined interests of the human experience? That's what the entire system was working towards, not individual accomplishments, individual, can I get as many homes and as boats and as Bugattis as I can, and are we collectively moving and marching towards bettering the experience for not only all of humanity, but all living life on Earth, right? If there's one constant between the original singularity and the expansion of the universe, it has been that there is simply a movement towards more complexity, which is a beautiful thing. And one of the highest forms of that complexity that we have been able to observe as a gift of having consciousness is consciousness. We were able to think, therefore we are, which is quite a splendid thing indeed. And so if we were to continue moving towards and marching towards the movement, what are some of the things that we can universally say are appreciated by all other human beings? Love, that's without question seems to be the highest form of consciousness, and when we're able to share and enjoy the love and company of others, it's a many splendid and beautiful thing. And so what if we were, as a society, moving and marching towards progress, and that we want to better not only the human experience but the living experience for all things, and that we don't want to colonize space, we want to explore space, to learn more, again, about our universe and the very existence itself. That sounds deep, and so that's kind of like the world in which one would have to kind of situate your head and mind space in. Could that exist? And I do remember, because I'm not a Trekkie, but I do remember watching that Star Trek movie where Picard's walking in a hallway with a character, and they're talking, and then she's like, what do y'all do for money in the future? And he's like, we've evolved beyond the need for such things in our society. And I remember just as a kid thinking, what the fuck does that mean? So what do you pay each other in? Hand jobs? This is a hand job economy? This is space hand jobs going all over the place? It's like, oh, good job. You've done great work. So you want your handy now? I guess. But like, as I grew older, I matured and I understood how that, yes, there could be more to life than simply the endless pursuit of wealth and wealth accumulation. That kind of stuff, kind of a neat and awesome concept. And again, it's one of the things in capitalist realism that I think also rings to in that novel, is that like, people cannot envision a world that does not exist within the reins of capitalism. How would anything get done? How would people who come from impoverished countries, who immigrate here and have a really hard time due to all the racism and xenophobia, how are they going to clean toilets if they're not getting minimum wage of some kind, or being paid under the table because they don't actually have the ability to work in the country yet? How is that going to work? How could that possibly work? And it's like, well, there's a lot of theories. You could have certainly allow automation to not replace workers, but actually make people's lives easier. Roombas for all kind of thing. That would eliminate a lot of some of the needy, greedy detail. But the other thing is that like we're also able to do things even if we have already accrued wealth. You can still do your laundry. You can still cook your food, you can still do dishes, and then you can enjoy the splendor of cooking food for other people, etc. Socialism, it's about having the workers, the people who do the manual labor and produce the products and the goods, the services that we all need to enjoy our lives. They should be cooperatively owning the very means of their own production, as in they should not be working for a boss. They should not have a boss who then pays them a small salary and then sells their labor, what they produce, the goods, the services, and all that kind of stuff, for more than they are in fact earning for them, because that's how he makes a profit, right? You have to sell the widgets for more than the widget makers are making the widgets for, or you won't turn profit. That's how the profit works. That's the belief behind the socialists. Again, neither of which, just on their surface, are that evil sounding, scary sounding, or even bad sounding. I'd say if they're explained properly, most people will be like, oh, yeah, I think that's fair. That makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense. My problem being is that there's lazy folk, right? Like, some people are just by choice lazy, and then there's really hardworking folk. And so the hardworking folk, they're the job creators. They create the jobs, and they give the jobs to lazy people who just don't have the ingenuity or intelligence or the ability to think of making something. So then, in that case, is that really exploitative? You know, could I just be a conscious capitalist? Could I be, you know, maybe like a social democrat who believes in a robust safety network, that kind of thing, so that we can take care of people and give them a certain standard of living, but at the same time accept the fact that some people are just born lazy and they're going to do lazy shit, so we need bosses to be able to, you know, really get them into gear, drive them, that kind of stuff. So what's the thing there? Oh, and I guess we're gonna have some trouble sorting out people who get the highly desirable jobs, like super rich celebrities. I guess, how do we determine that? Should it just be looks, like the pretty people get to be pop stars, rock stars, and movie stars? Is that how that's it? Because otherwise, like, if you look at what kids want to be when they grow up, overwhelmingly it starts to become things like YouTubers, Twitch streamers, TikTokers, influencers. But society won't work if every single person's a podcaster. Podcasters can't run the widget factories. They don't know how to make the widgets. They can talk about the widgets all day.
Open letter criticizing Musk and urging the company to make some cultural changes. This lawsuit alleges that Musk trumpets himself as, quote, the leader to a brave new world of space travel, but runs his company in the dark ages, treating women as sexual objects to be evaluated on their bra size.
Bra size? What? And so where does the value go? And there's got to be a cap to that, I imagine, right? Like, you've got double D's. At that point, it's like, wow, this is certainly executive class. That's all I got to say. Well, I mean, sorry, he wouldn't be looking at... Certainly, yes, you do have merits. Two very big merits. Can tell about that. Yeah, no, this is promotion worthy for sure. Oof. Yeah, no, I'm not feeling the bees. No, not really, but yes, no, this is what we're looking for. Definitely.
Bombarding the workplace with lewd sexual banter and offering the reprise to those who challenge.
Are we talking number letter? I'm going to assume letter, because I think, you know, dudes who are this sexist and horny are most likely not willing to learn about the difference or just about bra sizes in general or how they are affected. You know, you can get, I like a woman who's got, you know, a couple big ass C's, and then you're like, well, just on its own, the cup itself, sir, is not going to simply denote. I'm like, if you're looking for a certain titty, maybe give me the celebrity name you're thinking of, because maybe then I can help you more. But just like on the letter alone, I don't know if you're going to be able to pull this off.
The animal house environment, that if they don't like it, they can seek employment elsewhere.
By the way, this is exactly why it's really frightening at the very concept of Elon Musk being who he is and getting to where he is. Because yes, I mean, we can point towards all billionaires are evil. They are. Just there's no good billionaires. It's just like that's just the truth. And I say this, like, I'm not just saying this as a lefty or as a socialist or something like that. Ultimately, I'm not trying to make like people impoverished, and I don't want people to live in squalor, and that's how you know you're a true leftist. That's not the point of any of this. The point is that you shouldn't be exploiting other people, and that people who are working in these companies, they should be having better lives. They should be having, you know, some control in the decision making behind what exactly the company, the direction the company takes. They should have ownership in the company. They should have skin in the game. They should be able to reap the benefits of the company being successful, and that in turn will make them more encouraged to want to work hard in that company to make sure it does become successful, because again, they're working within its bounds.
Waited on bra size? What's happening? Can you elaborate?
There was a very popular tweet from a little while ago where Elon claimed that he was starting a university with what he considered humorous acronym, and I won't go into what that is, but that got very popular and got repeated all over the workplace. And one of the follow-up tweets was that D's get degrees, which was a joke about breast size due to the acronym of the fake.
I told you there'd be no numbers involved. It's just going to be straight letters. I guess easier to memorize, right? Higher the letter, bigger the titty, better the milk.
College, so things like that were widely shared on all internal chat channels and talked about in meetings and used as fodder in professional environments, and that's just one of many.
And honestly, beyond this being absolutely disgusting, I'm sure everyone can see this for what it is, just straight up sexual harassment, sexual fucking depravity on the behalf of the Elon Musk and co. When you take Jordan Peterson's and they tell you about how, well, there's some countries where there's almost complete equality, okay? We can look at some Nordic countries and they've basically, removed so many of the barriers that were put up in what are considered to be patriarchal oppression and all that. And what you notice when you look at those countries, though, is that there's still a large amount of men who are going into certain faculties and fields in STEM. And I think that's just because it's in our genes. It's genetic. We've got hard-coded things inside of us. What they always say, men are more object-oriented, women are more situational-oriented, all these kind of things, and that's how it just plays out. No, you're not putting into account the massive, factors of a lot of these companies, the majority of whom, I'll say, without even having to look it up, the majority of these companies in these categories when it comes to technology, video games, media, STEM-related fields where there's going to be coding, programming, all that kind of stuff, they are dominated by men. They are dominated by male CEOs in male companies in the largest corporations. We live at a time when corporations, yes, become monopolies. So the very few monstrously huge corporations in tech that are currently the leaders all mostly have male CEOs and male board members and stuff like that. And climbing the ranks within those situations can be difficult in and of itself, even if they don't live in or work inside a super sexist environment where every single guy's like, yeah, D's get degrees, where's the double D's? We're gonna let's line them up, boys. But this is in addition to that. So not only is there already a structure in which it's a mostly male-dominated hierarchy in these companies, you then come to these companies hoping to work your dream job, and you're surrounded by horny-ass evil nerds who are all just fostering this entire culture where it's completely acceptable, apparently, to sexually harass co-workers based on, their physical attributes. Men, if you went to go work in a company that was all run by women, and I know so many dudes are gonna be like, I would fucking love this, step on my balls, mommy. No, think for a second. You're trying to work in a company, you're trying to work, it's all run by women. It's completely women dominated from the top on down. And then, in addition to that, your promotional ability may be based on your dick size. So it's gonna be like, all right, well, how much of a bulge do we got going on down there? Yeah? Not very prominent. Yeah, fivers get dimers or something like that. We don't fuck with 4-inchers in these parts. All right, you got a 4-incher, we're fucking not gonna. You're not getting a promotion. You're not even in the board meeting. Or what if it's fucking, yeah, okay, this guy's got a massive dick, so does that mean he gets promoted? Okay, this is a great way to run a company, even as a joke. That fucking sucks. But again, I know right now guys are like, I would love that. I would love to have an army of strong women who are judging me based on my dick size. Fine. All you straights, etch and sketch that. What about a company that was run exclusively by men, gay men? All right, this company is run exclusively by gay men who are now going to sexualize you at every turn. And you're not gay. You happen to be straight. You're in a company full of gay men who are now sexualizing you at every single turn. And every decision you make is based on your physical attributes. And maybe it's not dick size, all right? What if it happens to be something that you find strange? What if you're not a foot guy and they're like, yeah, we're into feet. So right now we're going to be looking at shoe size. How big are your feet? We don't like the big ones. We want small, little, dainty feet, We want to see you doing foot bondage. You got to wrap your feet in little pieces of rope every day when you come to the office. We want to see you hobble as you walk into there, and then, yeah, that's sexy. Look at those teeny little toes. We love this shit. That would fucking suck, right? Hopefully, at this point, the straight dudes are just, I don't know, I'm already on board with the women crushing my balls shit, so maybe all the gay guys crushing my feet shit is okay too. I don't know. I'm confused right now, okay? These analogies are not working for me.
News. We were encouraged in our orientation to follow him on Twitter.
Really?
Tweets.
What a loser. It's so sad. Like, he does all this stuff and he broadcasts this on Maine too. He bought this whole social media thing for friends. He has the most popular account on the platform. He made a big deal when he beat Obama for like followers on Twitter. It was a huge thing. And even then now, because Twitter is so fucking cooked, you can see him doing his thing that he does every day, replying to all of these far right fucking fashy like Nazi assholes with like lol concerning question mark lol smiley face concerning looking into it. But they're just not getting the same likes they used to, because the whole thing is so fucking cooked. Like, it's not only that like the user bases are plummeting, but also just the ability for people to see what other people are posting is completely wrecked on the platform. The algorithms are just like dust. So he's not even like, he paid so much money for this, and even then he's not getting the love that he so desperately seeks.
Were shared. Yes, SpaceX will retweet Elon Musk's Twitter, and he will retweet them, and so it becomes impossible to separate his personal nonsense from the actual day-to-day life of an actual working environment where engineers are working hard and trying to get things done. So anything that is on his Twitter is considered official news. So anything that he says may as well be written on official SpaceX letterhead and distributed as a company update.
Official news or official policy? Because I wonder what the impact of that was.
This is why we shouldn't have dictators, all right? There should not be an enormous amount of concentrated power into the hands of an insecure nerd. Like an evil nerd like Elon Musk, you know, for him to be able to do whatever he wants and get away with it. Well, again, tens of thousands of people's lives hang in the balance, and women have to deal with the disgusting ass sexist workplace that he's set up. And of course, if you're a dude within that environment too, who's also depending on his job, even if you weren't before maybe, you know, as sexist as Elon Musk is or as big of a misogynist, you might suddenly just want to play along, be part. You don't want to be outed, right? You don't want to be part of the out group. So all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I'm totally into D's. Where's all the D ladies? Like that, it just sucks. You're fostering this entire environment yourself.
As working at the organization to know this was being shared or talked.
Oh no, he's an evil nerd. Because again, nerds, I'm a nerd, all right? I'm a massive video game nerd, but I'm a good nerd. There's good nerds and there's evil nerds. He's an evil nerd. It's like not all nerds, okay? Hashtag not all nerds.
Were people repulsed by it, or did it become part of the culture?
It is very much part of the culture, but people like me were pretty repulsed by it. It's hard not to feel targeted in a scenario where you might be the only woman or the only minority in a room, and people are laughing about sex jokes and potty humor in a place where it really doesn't belong. I experience this every day at SpaceX, and we're trying to support each other, and it's really unfortunate that the spin and the twist was that we made people feel uncomfortable, because that was the reality of my everyday life, was how uncomfortable I would feel in situations that were much, much more damaging than that one.
The irony of that narrative. Paige, Holland, Thielen, thank you so much for joining. I know these are very significant allegations. We'll continue to follow and what their response may be as well. Thank you.
He sucks. He just sucks so much. Again, I think Elon Musk sucks particularly bad. It's not because he's like, at times the richest human being, or, he's just so blatantly, fashy and supporting white supremacists and Holocaust deniers and all that kind of stuff. It's that he's so, he's the biggest living example of someone without talent, with our disgusting broken ass system getting to the highest heights of power within our world. That it's just like, it's so annoying to watch, because again, he doesn't invent things. Other people invent things. He comes up with ideas. It's like, hey, I invented the no, you didn't. You didn't even invent Tesla. You joined Tesla after the fact. After, you've done so many other projects where it's like, you didn't invent the solar panel roofs that you tried to sell and pitch. What Elon Musk is the same thing that Donald Trump is. He's a decent salesman. He's a really good individual at getting a huge amount, or he used to be. People don't really, he's not brand safe anymore, but he used to be really, really good at getting venture capital, at getting venture capitalists to pour billions of dollars into his companies and projects, and then also utilizing those companies and projects to in turn get billions of dollars of taxpayer funding to be able to build up things like SpaceX and get SpaceX. But the whole thing is, it's not so much a space race as it's a monopoly race. Him getting into space in large part was to be able to get his satellite systems into space, which he can now use as leverage against entire national governments that require sometimes internet. Like, look what he did with Ukraine. He like, haha, I'm now going to be able to give you internet, you know, with my, the technology, and I'm also able to pull it away if you don't do the things I like. Haha, now you're going to become more dependent on the very technology that I'm providing, because again, I'm going to be able to offer it at a cheaper price than you would be able to have it as, say, something that's nationalized, something that is taxpayer funded, something that is maybe based in what NASA has to work on a regular basis. Now it's controlled by my private corporation. It's someone who's failed upwards so much of his life, and now is just abusing all of his power in every possible respect, whether it be to dominate a social media platform, to dominate people's speech and the way they think in their algorithms, to sexually harassing the women he works for, the women who work for him, and trying to impregnate them on a regular basis.
Howdy everybody. I just wanted to let you know that for the cost of a cup of coffee, you can unlock bonus uncensored episodes of Mind Explosions by going to patreon.com/theserfs. Our videos couldn't exist without your support, and all our content is released early to our Patreon subscribers, as well as a ton of extra content you can't get anywhere else. Please like, subscribe, and thumbs up this channel, and if you're feeling extra perky, share it anywhere you think people would like to see or learn from our videos. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We first want to give a shout out to everyone who makes this show possible. This program is produced thanks to the generous support of our Patreon supporters: Anna Loves Riley, Arian McCarthy, Cheryl Alvarez, Comrade Junkie, Doug Caddy, Everything Important, Hagbar Celine, Jimmy Sombrero, Multi Mondi, Omni, Peanut Butter Blondie, Political Poppy, Preston Kroll, Quiet 185, Richard Bomey, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Ruby, Cernicus, Stellar Gwyn, Sebastian Demmel, Travis McClinton, and Words Greenwood. As well as every other person you see on the screen right now, this show would not be possible without them. And if you want to join these wonderful people who make this entire program possible, simply go to patreon.com/theserfs and you can unlock uncensored and bonus episodes and, help us exist.